Good morning, Praton One, and welcome to another Wantasili School YouTube recorded online lesson. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we know what to do first is make sure you have your pencil and your paper, and we're going to ask the morning questions. And we're very lucky today to have my dear friend Teacher Brian. Come and help us with the questions, Teacher Brian.
Okay.
So we're talking to P1 today.
Hi, P1s.
Yeah, all our friends at P1. Yeah, Ufu and Sanwa and Dongjae and all the lovely children that are going to be P1s next year. So the first question, Teacher Brian, can you remember what this question is, P1s? That's right, it's what is your name?
My name is Teacher Brian.
His name is Teacher Brian. What's your name? My name is. And Teacher Brian, how are you today?
I'm very good. It's very hot, but I'm happy.
Good. Teacher Brian's happy. And how are you today, P1s? I'm going to ask that one. And Teacher Brian, can you remember what this question is? It's that's right. Where do you come from, Teacher Brian?
I come from America.
Teacher Brian comes from America.
Yes.
And where do you come from, P1s? Do you come from Thailand? I'm pretty sure you do. Cool. And next question is the where do you live question. Should we ask Teacher Brian? Teacher Brian, where do you live?
I live in Nakhon Sawan, Thailand.
Teacher Brian lives in Nakhon Sawan, Thailand. Where do you live, P1s? Do you live in Pichit? Do you live in Bangkok? Do you live in Australia? Where do you live? Next question. Can you remember this one? That's right, you can see the picture there. It's the school question. And we have a little song about the school question. Can you remember? It's the what school do you go to? 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 I won't ask Teacher Brian this question because he's too old to go to school. But I'm going to ask you, P1s, what school do you go to? Do you go to Wantasili School? I think you do. And P1s, what class are you in? You're not in Sunbeam, not in Sunbeam 1. Can you see the number here? You're in Praton 1, P1. What class are you in? I'm in P1. Okay, lovely. And the next question we can ask Teacher Brian, and he's already told us a little bit about it, and it's the weather question. The weather question. Teacher Brian, what's the weather like today?
Today is sunny and hot.
That's right. It's very, very hot.
Yeah.
Is it hot in Pichit, P1s? Oh, in Nakhon Sawan it's very, very hot. Sunny and very hot. Now, Teacher Brian, next question is, it's the like question. And Teacher Brian, can you tell me what food do you like?
Oh, I like spaghetti with meat sauce, and I like pizza with pepperonis.
Ooh, pizza and spaghetti. Do you like pizza and spaghetti? And Teacher Brian, what food don't you like?
I don't like mushrooms, and I don't really like tomatoes.
That's right, Teacher Brian doesn't like mushrooms and Teacher Brian doesn't like tomatoes.
Right.
But Teacher Brian, you like spaghetti and you like pizza. Could you tell us what food do you love?
I love pizza.
Teacher Brian likes spaghetti, but he loves pizza
Yes.
and cheese.
A lot of cheese.
Teacher Brian loves cheese. He
Yeah.
really does love
Yeah.
cheese, yeah. And the last question. Are you ready, P1, for the last question on this One Task Silly online YouTube lesson? And it's this one. Da, 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 da. It's the friend question. And you can see the two friends. There's a little boy and there's a little girl in a pink dress. And it's the question is, I'll ask Teacher Brian. Teacher Brian, who is your friend?
My mom and dad.
Wow. Teacher Brian, his friend, is his mum and his dad.
Yep.
But you love your mum and dad, I bet.
I do love my mom. and
Yeah,
dad.
Teacher Brian loves his mum and dad. And I'm sure you do as well, P1s. Well, thank you very much, Teacher Brian, for
Sure.
helping us with the questions. And we'll see you next Monday.
Okay. Goodbye, P1s.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Teacher Brian. It's always nice to see Teacher Brian on our online lessons. Well, it's come to the time of the lesson where I have to move around. There we go. Try and get the sun. There we go. That's pretty good. Move the whiteboard across a little bit. And it's time for a story. So, if it's time for a story, it's time for the story hat. Here it is. It's Teacher Tim's story time. And I have the story hat. So let's get the book out. It's a really very, very good book. It's quite funny. And it's about a little girl. And there she is. And the book's called Really? Really? It's the Really, Really book. So let's read it and find out about the Really, Really book. Ooh, lots of stars on the first page. Ooh, and there's a moon, a yellow moon with lots of stars. 7 stars and a big yellow moon. And can you remember her name? That's right. Her name's Daisy. And she's a little girl. And her mummy is going out to a restaurant with her friend. So a little girl, it's the first time that she's had a babysitter, someone that comes to look after her. And mummy says, bye-bye, and off she goes. Can you see the taxi? Yeah, look, there's the taxi come to get mummy. Angela, the babysitter, asks Daisy, why are you eating paper? Why are you eating paper? Says mummy. Why are you eating paper? And Daisy says, I'm not eating paper. I think she is. Really? Really? Really, really? Fibbed Daisy. Yes. We go on the next page. And you must be hungry, said Angela. What do you usually have for tea? And Daisy said, ooh, I have French fries and ice cream. Really? Said Angela. Really? Really? Fibbed Daisy. Go hog. Have you ever had a babysitter before? A babysitter is someone that comes to look after you when your mummy goes out. Oh yes, lots of babysitters. Lots and lots. Hundreds. All these babysitters. Go hawk. Really? Said Angela. Really? Really? Said Daisy. Would you like a glass of milk? Said Angela. No, no. I'm only allowed lemonade. Soda, young Leo. Go home. Really? Said Angela. Really? Really? Said Daisy. She's a, remember the sip? It's the sip on her straw. What time do you usually go to bed, Daisy? Ah, midnight at the earliest. Tian Kung. Tinung. Really? Said Angela. Really? Really? Said Daisy. Telling a few fibs. Do you need to have a shower? Said Angela. No, no, I never get dirty. I don't need a shower. Really? Said Angela. Really? Really? Said Daisy. Ooh, look, she's playing in the mud. She's very dirty, but she doesn't need a shower. What time do you put on your pajamas? What time do you put on your pajamas? Sai chut non. Jimo. I don't need to. I always wear my normal clothes. Sai. I don't sai. Really? Said Angela. Really, really? Should we sit down and read a book? My mum prefers it if I play games. Jumping on the sofa. Really? Said Angela. Really? Really? Said Daisy. My dear. And then we watch videos. We watch cartoons. Really? Said Angela. Really? Really? Said Daisy. At midnight, dong, they heard a taxi pull up outside. And Daisy said, oh, I'm feeling very tired. She went quickly upstairs into her room. And Mummy said, has Daisy been a good girl? Did you get the note that I wrote? Did she have a healthy tea? Did she put her pajamas on? Did she have a shower? And was she a good girl? Was she in bed by 8 o'clock? Angela put her hands behind her back. Can you see? And she said, Angie, Daisy's been very, very good. Like a little angel, Menang Fa. Really? Asked Daisy's mum. Really? Really? Said Angela. She didn't want to give her up. That's the story of Daisy. We tell some fibs to her babysitter. It's the really, really story. Well, take my story hat off. It's getting a bit hot in the garden today. You can see I'm in my garden again. So, it's time to take your pencil and your paper, and I'm going to ask you P1s, what day is it today? A10, can you remember what day it is today? Can you? Let's have a look. What day is it today? Well, today is Monday, and we write Monday with M-O-N-D-A-Y. Today is Monday. Well done. It's Monday. And can you remember what number it is today? It's number 25. The 25th. And we write 25 with a 2 and a 5. Monday the 25th. And the month. It's an A sound. It's the 25th of... That's right. It's May. May is easy to remember. M-A-Y. It's the 25th of May. Monday, the 25th of May. Good. Right, let's get our phonic books out. It's the time of the lesson where we review the phonic sounds that we learnt last week. So, let's have a look. Get our books out. It's page 32. And then here we go. We'll run through these quickly before we get the new phonic sound out. So it's the I sound. And it makes the sound I. It's the letter I, but it makes the sound I. So the first one is hip. That's right. Hip. 2. Ink. 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 3. Zip. 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 Number 4 is in. In the box. In. That's the I sound. Well done. The next page is the IP sound, the IP sound. So let's have a review of this one. And it's the lip, 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 lip. Number 2. Tip, 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 tip. Number 3. Sip, 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 sip. Good. And number 4 is rip, 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 rip. Well done. Lip, tip, sip, rip. It's a rip sound. Okay. Now then, let's get our listening ears in, and we're going to listen to the phonic website. Let's put my speaker on, and we'll just have a look at these words here. So we've got bib, rib, kid, lid. Bib, bib, rib, rib, kid, kid, and lid, lid. That's right. Bib, rib, kid, lid. That's the ID sound. Good. We'll have a story. So if you could all turn to page 39 and listen and read along. Are you ready? Pat on 1. Okay, let's go.
See, look and listen. Read along. The kid. 1.
The kid can use ink.
2.
He can open a lid.
3.
He can sip and zip.
4.
This kid needs a bib. Sight words. Can. Open. Needs.
Page 40. Review 2.
Okay, so you can remember the story is the kid can use ink. 2. He can open a lid. 3. He can sip and zip. And 4. This kid needs a bib. Excellent. It's the id and the ib sound about them. If you turn over, we're going to listen to a song, which is always good fun. And then we're going to have a little test to see if you've remembered the it and the ip and the id sounds. So let's listen to the story. Are you ready? Let's listen.
Short E. E, et, n, ed. Short I. I, ip, ib, id. Song. A. Look and listen. Sing along.
The pet needs a vet. The egg needs a box. The can needs a lid. And Dad needs socks. The kid needs a sip. The hen needs a jet. The pen needs ink. And she needs a net.
The pet needs a vet. The egg needs a box. The can needs a lid. And Dad needs socks. The kid needs a sip. The hen needs a jet. The pen needs ink. And she needs a net.
Match can to lid. Match hen to jet. Match kid to sip. Match girl to net. Match pen to ink. Match egg to box. Match pet to vet. Match dad to socks.
Page 41.
Right.
B. Lit.
Okay. Well done, P1s. So that's the whole of the unit over. I want you to remember for next week that you're going to have your paper and your pen. And the first thing we're going to do is to have a little test to see if we can remember the E and the et and the N and the ed and the it and the ip and the ib and the id. So we'll have a little test and then we can check to see if you're right. Okay, well we've come to the end of our Wantasili School YouTube online lesson for this Monday the 25th of May. Thank you again, Teacher Brian, for helping us with the questions. Hello, Teacher Brian, and stay safe, and we'll see you next week for sure. Bye bye. Bye bye.